मूलं गुरुर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोः कृपा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सद्गुरु भगवान की जय, सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय, कृष्ण भगवान की जय, गीता माता की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing now the second chapter of Gita, and we have discussed yesterday 29th verse of second chapter. Ascharyavat vada pasyati kaschit enam ascharyavat vadati tatha eva cha अन्यः आश्चर्यवचैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वापि एनं वेद न चैव कश्चित्. We see this, someone sees this self as a wonder, another speaks of it as a wonder, another hears of it as a wonder, yet having heard, none understands it at all. This is what we saw yesterday. This self is beyond mind and speech, beyond perception, so it cannot be seen. So whatever is understood by the mind, it looks like something wonder. Whatever is seen by the mind through the senses, because senses are limited, they cannot reach the self. देहि नित्यमवध्यवयम् देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. And further Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna in the midst of that battlefield, the indweller in the body of everyone, the soul, is ever indestructible, O Arjuna. Therefore, thou shouldst not grieve for any creature. Dehi nityam avadhyaha ayam dehe sarvasya bharata. Dehi, the holder of the body. One who holds it is called Dehi. Who abides in the body as a house or some covering, who is abiding inside the body. So he is called Dehi, the bodied person. The bodied, one who holds the body, who is the indweller of the body, he is indestructible. He cannot be killed. He is eternal. Though the body perishes, he never gets any. He is not at all influenced by the death of the body. So, tasmat sarvani bhutani, whatever bodied persons we say it being. The being has eightfold body, and the being abides within the eightfold covering. Puri-ashtak. Puri means a house and made up of 8 elements. That's all. So one who is the indweller, he is immortal. But the body may change, body may get destroyed. So it is case with all the beings. Tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam sochidam arhasi. So you should not grieve at the self, the soul, immortal soul. This, the indweller in the body of everyone, is ever indestructible. O Arjuna, therefore, thou shouldst not grieve for any creature, bodied person. The body of any creature may be destroyed, but the self cannot be killed. Therefore, you should not grieve regarding any creature, whatever, Bhishma or anybody else. He is much worried about Bhishma and Drona, his guru. But they are bodied persons. Bhishma is not the body, Drona is not the body, and you too are not the body, O Arjuna. Why you are thinking of body, the covering, and you are bewildered? And further he says, the body of the creature may be destroyed, but the self cannot be killed. Therefore, you should not grieve regarding any creature, whether he is Bhishma or anybody else. Swadharmam api chaveksha na vikampitum arhasi dharmadhi yuddha shreyaha anyat kshatriyasa na vidyate. He says, till now he was talking of from the philosophical point of view. Now he is coming to the practical day-to-day life, relative life, and he tries to explain him. From any angle you look at this situation of battle, somebody will be killed, somebody will kill, and all these, what happens in the battlefield, it can be seen from many different angles. So from philosophical angle of view, Lord Krishna was explaining Arjuna. Till now, it is like this. You should not grieve at the death of the body. The soul is immortal. From different analytical point and argumentatively and giving different examples, he explained this point to Arjuna. You should not grieve for the death of the body. Now he says, what is your duty? As in the common parlance, worldly parlance, you should do your duty. Further, having regard to the duty, thou should not waver, for there is nothing higher for a Kshatriya than a righteous war. You are fighting for a right cause. So that is your duty as a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means, we have discussed already before, these caste and creeds. This caste classification of groups of people, we have to do it because different kinds of duties, social duties are given to different groups of people. So who are the group who is responsible for the protection of the society from the outward attack of enemies or anything, and who fight for the protection of the righteous causes to keep up harmony in the society, they are called Kshatriyas, warriors. And they sacrifice their lives to keep up the peace and order in the society. That is the Kshatriya caste. Similarly, others are given different duties for the progress and growth of the society, to keep up law and order in the society. Kshatriyas are meant for protection of the society, to keep up the border of the country and dharma and other duties of the people, whether they are doing or not, or some other kind of natural or physical imbalanced state in the society. The Kshatriyas should keep up balance, and they have to fight for the right causes. This is the duty of Kshatriyas. That is what he is explaining to Arjuna. Arjuna belongs to Kshatriya group. Further he says, having regard to thy duty, thou should not waver, for there is nothing higher for a Kshatriya than a righteous war. Lord Krishna now gives to Arjuna worldly reasons for fighting. What is the reason to fight? It will be right to fight. Till now he was giving the philosophical reasons, considering the state of the soul and body, and how the body is composed, and who is the indweller of the body, how he abides in the body, and how he is eternal, body is temporary, and body appears and disappears. In this way he was giving him the philosophical reasons, and that is called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means where the digits are concerned. Sankhya, digits. Just now I told the body is eightfold made. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, we have to count how many aspects, how many elements are taken for composing the body. So everywhere we see we deal with some digits, and that those digits are of nature. Nature creates this body, and the absolute truth somehow appears as if he has been abiding in this body created by the nature. So, of course, this is what we call Maya. Maya. it appears like a body, but it is not there. Just as the silkworm makes its a house, around it, house means the cell, within which the worm remains for transformation. And after some time, it undergoes some physical changes, and then it becomes a butterfly and flies away, having cut a hole in the cell. So similarly, the indweller is the soul in this body, and it goes out of this body, and body is made up of his own plan and everything. He makes it out of himself. It appears to be like this. It is not really anything. So it is called Maya, created by Maya or nature. Anyhow, Lord Krishna was giving all these reasons from the philosophical point of view. Now he comes to the practical relative life. He says, as per your social status, you are Kshatriya, you have some duties to perform in daily life, and you are going to fight for a right cause. So this is your duty, this is your dharma. And this chance comes very seldom, not always. Very rarely it comes to people. So now you have got it by itself. So what more you want? You should perform your duty without any hesitation. Lord Krishna now gives to Arjuna worldly reasons for fighting. Up to this time he talked to Arjuna on the immortality of the self. The self is immortal, and gave him philosophical reasons. Now he says to Arjuna, "O Arjuna, fighting is a Kshatriya's own duty. You ought to not swear from the duty. To a Kshatriya, one who is born in the warrior family, ruling class, nothing is more welcome than a righteous war. A warrior should fight. You are a great warrior. How can you give up this duty which has come by itself to you? You should not withdraw yourself from this duty." Further he says, "Yadrichaya jopapannam swargadvaram apabritam sukhinaha kshatriyaha partha lavante yuddham yadrisam." It has come by itself. What more they are to welcome? And if you are going to fight out this battle, if you die in the battle, the gate of the heaven is open to you. As per the social faith, one goes to the heaven and enjoys happiness there for a pretty long time. And this has come by itself. Sukhinaha kshatriyaha partha lavante yuddham indrisam. They are really fortunate. They are really happy to be happy In such conditions, such war has come by itself to you. So, you should not withdraw yourself. Happy are the Kshatriyas, O Arjuna, who are called upon to fight in such a battle that comes of itself as an open door to the heaven. Open door to the heaven. You are welcome at heaven. The scriptures declare that if a Kshatriya dies for a righteous cause on the battlefield, he at once go to the heaven. There is no consideration or judgment on his going to heaven. Then not there, he is welcome at heaven. Come on. So such a chance, how can you give up? Atha chet tam imam dharmam sangramam na karishyasi tatah swadharmam kirtim chahitva papam avapsasi. If you are not, on the other hand, if you are not going to fight out this battle as your duty for right cause, then what will be the consequence? But if thou will not fight this righteous war, then having abandoned thy own duty and fame, thou shalt incur sin. You will be enjoying only sins. So you have to go to hell. Hell and heaven we get by the result of our actions we do in this physical world. Actions have reactions, so nobody can get rid of it, as it is the natural law. The whole creation stands upon this law. Action will have reaction, cause will have effect. So if you fulfill your duty, then you are going to heaven. If you don't do it, withdraw from your duty, then you have to go to the hell. Hell means where you are going to suffer, get the result of your not doing the right cause, not fighting out the battle, which was your duty. You didn't perform it. So naturally you have to be punished in subtler world. And if you do it, you will be rewarded with heavenly pleasures. So Lord Krishna gives the relative reasons for fight. Atha chettam imam dharmam sangramam na karishyasi tada swadharmam kirtim cha hitva papam avapsasi. But if thou will not fight this righteous war, then having abandoned thy own duty and fame, thou shalt incur sin only. The Lord reminds Arjuna of the fame he had already earned and which he would now lose it if he refused to fight. Arjuna had acquired great fame by fighting with Lord Shiva himself to get Pasupat Astra, the highest weapon. he was doing penance in the jungle to ask the highest weapon from Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva wanted to test him, and he came in disguise in other form as a hunter. And there was a beautiful story, and he discharged his arrow, the hunter, the disguised Lord Shiva, at the wild pig. And at the same time, Arjuna also got up from his place, and he saw the pig is going. So he discharged his arrow also. Both the arrows hit at one place of the body of the pig, and at the same time, same place, same time, both the arrows hit the pig. So both the the hunter and Arjuna chased the pig and reached at the same time at the pig. So now there was quarrel. Both of them were claiming, this is my pig, because I have killed it by my arrow. See my arrow. So the other says it is I who has killed it, because both the arrows hit the pig at the same time, at the same place. So naturally both are right, and there was a fight. So both started fighting, and it was going on, and in the end, of course, as it is hard from the pigs, Lord Shiva was defeated by Arjuna. So he appeared in his own form. Oh Arjuna, I am pleased by your fight. You are really a warrior. So ask me some boon. So Arjuna, of course, asked the same, the Pasupat Astra, and he got it. So Arjuna had such name that he could fight out Lord Shiva even. So what to speak of ordinary persons? So he had a great fame beforehand. Now Lord Krishna reminds him, your fame will be ruined. People who were admiring you, they will laugh at you and talk ill of you. Akirtim chapi bhutani kathayisyanti te vyayam sambhavidasya cha kirtirim maranat atirichyate. That ill fame in the place of your good fame and name, will you be able to bear it? It is more than death, so pinching, so unbearable. A great warrior cannot bear all these bad, accusing words. He cannot. So it will be very difficult to hear people talking ill of you. Before you, they will laugh at you. People too will recount thy everlasting dishonor, and to one who has been honored, dishonor is worse than death. Who was having such good fame, now he will hear such words. It is more than death, worse than death. The world also will ever recount the infamy which will survive thee for a long time. Death is really preferable to disgrace to one who has been honored as a great hero and mighty warrior with noble qualities. They say this fame is a great wealth in this world, in this relative world. Kirtirjasya sajivati, one who is of very high fame and name, he is ever alive in this mortal world. Though he dies when the body is concerned, yet his fame remains for a long time on the earth. So he is ever alive on the relative worldly parlance as long as his fame is there on the earth. On this fame, there are so many beautiful stories given in our epics. There was a great king called Indradyumna. Long, long ago, he was ruling over the earth and he had conducted continuous yajnas, sacrificial rites for thousands of years, continuously. And the earth gets, it burns into ashes and there will be ditches wherever he conducted yajnas. And in the end, he had to search for a tortoise, and over the back of the tortoise he conducted yajna for thousands of years, and the blood oozed out from his back. It was a river, small river of blood. It is called Mahinadi in south. And this king he didn't give up that tortoise, and he earned so much fame. Directly with the body he went to the subtler realms, the highest realm, that is called Brahmalok, Satyalok. He enjoyed there for long, pretty long time. And when on the earth his fame was getting forgotten by and by, there was no fame on the earth plane. Nobody knew who was Indradyumna. So slowly, when it came to zero, Lord Brahma, he pushed out Indradyumna from his realm. Go down to the earth plane and recover your fame. Then only you can come here, or else not. So he came down to earth plane with a body to find out his lost fame. He could find out. He could see that old tortoise in Mansarovar. That tortoise lived for 56 kalpas. He was a long-living tortoise, long-living being. And he told all about that king. He knew him because on his back only this king was conducting yajna. So then again Indradyumna the king went back to that in Brahmalok, and he enjoyed for a long time. So this is how kirti, the fame works for you in relative world. But in the spiritual world, when a seeker seeks for the highest goal, which is beyond relativity, in his ways, this name and fame is taken as rubbish, nonsense, garbage. Pratishtha sukari vishtha. Pratishtha sukari vishtha. Vishtha means this fame is taken as equal to the droppings of pig. It is not to look at. It is not worth looking at it. So in spiritual field it is just the opposite. And in the worldly parlance, in relative world, everybody works for name and fame. So this is how Lord Krishna says, from relative point of view, when you had such great merits, everybody praises you, admires you, and now if you withdraw from this dutiful war, people will laugh at you and talk ill of you. So think of it. Can you bear it? It will be worse than death for a great warrior. Arjuna, don't forget it. Akirtim japi bhutani kathayisyanti te vyayam sambhavitasya chak akirtim maranad atiricyate. It will be worse than death, O Arjuna. How can you think of withdrawing from it? Bhayad ranad uparatam mansyante tvam maharatha tesam na tam bahumato bhutva jasyasi laghavam. People who were admiring you were talking so great at you. Arjuna is a great warrior who could fight with Lord Shiva even. Such is your fame. And if out of fear, Bhayat ranat uparatam, if you withdraw from the battle, mansyante tvam maharatha tesam chatam bahumato bhutva jasyasi laghavam. People who were talking great of you, praising all time you, they will talk lightly about you. Arjuna, yes, a coward fellow will talk ill of you. The great car warriors, Maharatha, will think that thou hast withdrawn from the battle through fear, and thou will be lightly be held by the common people who thought of you so much, who were admiring you, praising you. They will talk very light of you, very little of you. It will be unbearable for you, Arjuna. Duryodhana and others will certainly think of you, have fled from the battlefield out of fear. But not through compassion and reverence for elders. They will not understand what for you are withdrawing from the battle. They will see the negative side of it. Nobody looks at the positive side. It is the nature of people. Duryodhana and others who have shown great esteem to you on account of your chivalry, bravery, and other noble qualities will think very lightly of you and treat you with contempt. Arjun, what do you think? Come on. You are a coward. You cannot fight with us. They will challenge you. And what else? Avachya vadamscha bahun badishyanti tavahitaha nindantanstava samarthyam tato dukkataram nukim. Thy enemies also, cavilling at thy power, will speak many abusive words. That is more painful than, what is more painful than this? Your enemies will laugh at you. There is really no pain more unbearable and terminating than that of slender thus incurred. So now, in this way, Lord Krishna has given some relative reasons, worldly reasons, for not to withdraw from the battle, but to fight out it from different angles. And then tomorrow we shall see what will be the consequence if you withdraw from the battle. What will be consequence if there is no battle? Because if Arjuna withdraws, nobody is going to fight. What will be the result? You only told me what will be the result if you fight out the battle. There will be disharmony in the society and so much wrong will happen. So all these you told me in a great, beautiful lecture, eloquent lecture, and now you didn't see the other side of it. If you don't fight out the battle, then what will be the consequence? That also you should see. That now he is going to explain. Tomorrow we shall see. Hato va prapsyase swargam jitva va bhakshase mahim tasmad utishta kaunteya yuddhaya kritanishchaya. Tomorrow we shall see. If you win the battle, what will happen? If you lose the battle, what will happen? Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, गीता माता की जय। हरि ओम।